Okay, I'm live. I know I look like a swimmer right now. So what I want to talk about is kind of something what I was talking about on the last video, but I wanted to clarify some things that I felt needed to be clarified so that people won't think that, oh, she's just thinks that she's better than what she actually is. And she like kind of gave us some details on that don't really make sense. So I could see why she got written up. So I'm going to clarify what I think I missed so that you won't think that I'm just like making up what type of worker that I am and thinking that I'm not as good as I say that I am. So for people who know about this popular low discount store, I was working in the stockroom at the time and I was doing what we call blue bins. So we fill up the blue bins with a lot of products. There's like seven little boxes or shelves in these blue bins. So it was four people doing it at first and it ended up just being me. And you can check the records to see if y'all know how to do all that. I don't know if you worked there before you're a manager or whatever. So what happened basically is in the stock room when they get the load in from the truck, the workers are supposed to put each product like in categories in the blue bins. So it's like it'll be like or actually on yeah, in the blue bins there's categories like you're supposed to put like beauty products here, you're supposed to put like the socks here, you're supposed to put like the hats and the belts here. And what the workers would do is just throw everything in there. Now I was the most concerned because I was the one, primarily the only one at a great amount of time that was taking it. But they would do this with the other people work there too. They would just throw whatever in those bins. Like they'd have hats with perfume or belts with perfume and like stuff that didn't go together. It was just a pile of everything mixed everywhere. Socks here, socks there, belts here, belts there, belts there, everywhere in each one of these bins. And so I, of course, being who I am, I spoke up about it and I said, try to organize it in the blue bin so that when we take it, it'll be, easier for us to, process. And the people who usually who don't take it, they say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? It does matter because you go much faster whenever it's organized. And then I come to find out that's what they were supposed to be doing. So what I would do at first that would take up some time is I would actually have the blue bin and I would go back and organize and put socks with socks, make sure belts were with the belts. Then that would take me a little bit of time. So then when I ran it out there, I would just be able to put it up. So they actually slowed down the process by not following the system that was set in place. And the head manager, her name starts with a Y, and then the one before her, his name starts with, I'm not even going to mention him, but he was a black guy. And basically, they never told people to put things up how it should be in the blue bins when you're taking things. Now, the ones for home where everybody took those, they would, the regular baskets everybody's supposed to take, they would organize those properly though. They would put like the rugs with rugs, the comforters with comforters, the glass objects with the glass objects. But the ones that were for the blue bin, like I said, they would just throw in however. And eventually, like I said, I was the only one that was taking that. Now, let me tell you something else that's important about the situation. So they never fully trained me. So I didn't know the time that I was supposed to do it in. And like I said, at first I was just the fastest one. So what ended up happening was like one of the managers would be like, Q, go faster. And I'm like, what do you mean go fast? Like I'm going, I'm going fast. Like, and I felt like I would be doing a good job, but they would just like, it was like they were just telling me, oh, go faster, go faster. I'm like, I'm going fast. And when I do this, I'm the fastest one done. I'm like getting ones and I'm getting them done and I'm getting them out there. But sometimes, like when I would be by myself, which was most of the time afterwards, it was like they would be still telling me go fast, and I felt like they was like picking on me. And it was because I didn't take the training. They rushed me onto the floor. They didn't let me complete the training. So I didn't know that I was supposed to finish in 35 minutes. So what I started doing, because I'm a good worker, I got me, a watch, which I wear this usually to work. But during that time when I worked there, I got me a watch. And when they told me, oh, you're supposed to finish the blue bins in 35 minutes, I said, oh, okay. So I started timing myself. And after I timed myself, I was like, I never knew that. I never knew that it was supposed to be 35 minutes. I'm just, and like I said, they slowed down the production because they weren't organizing it in the first place. So they were making my job harder. And they also made my job harder by not giving me the proper training and learning the most important things about the blue bins if they saw that I was going to be the lead in it and that I was going to be taking over and doing it. They should have said, okay, Q, they should have verified that I took all the training. And if not, they should have said, the blue bins have to be done in 35 minutes. Or the person who was managing should have said, okay, you ready to take your bin? You have 35 minutes. I'll be monitoring, okay? So once I learned what the time was and I got my little stopwatch, every day that I clocked out, it started saying, early clock out, early clock out, early clock out, early clock out. So I was moving fast enough to be clocking out early. So I overcame a lot of obstacles. The fact that they weren't using the system the way they were supposed to do it, the fact that they didn't let me go through all the training and then they didn't inform me on the most important things that I needed to know in order to do the blue bins on time. Being the fastest one already, I didn't know that I wasn't on time. So when they would tell me, oh, go faster, I thought they were just being, like rude, like, what are you saying? Until they actually told me. Then when they told me, I started going being within the time frame and clocking out early, way before my time, 30 minutes ahead of time, an hour ahead of time. And I'm pretty sure they didn't document that and say, oh, she did an excellent job. She was clocking out early. But now, no, what they said was, this is what I was talking about, how they were doing like a, what you call it? A review, when they do a review on you, and they reviewed everyone and they gave me the bad review. They told everybody else that was going, people who were clearly slow at whatever they did. They were telling them, and then some they had jobs that weren't even related, like the security people and stuff. But they told everybody, even the slow people back there, that they were doing good. And then they told me, they wrote me up and said that I held them up 4 hours behind time, which I don't even understand why they had to do that. And then I'm like, well, did y'all explain that y'all had me doing like 7 of those bins a day, 7 to 10 of those bins every day by myself? Did you tell them that also? How could one person slow the whole business down? Like, it was just like, it didn't really make sense to me. So I just wanted to clarify that I am a good worker, I'm a hard worker, and that I just think that sometimes management needs to kind of observe a little bit better in a way where they're like actually looking into stuff and not just trying to blame people for stuff, and like actually ask them like questions like, how's it going? Maybe even quiz them like, do you know the time frame that you're supposed to be doing this in? If you're going to say go faster, then you might as well say, do you know the time frame that it's supposed to be in? Especially if that person's already the fastest and people are using them as a gauge to finish their work in the other departments, especially when it's the manager over the department that's doing that. So I just wanted to clarify. Yeah, I think that they were wrong in writing me up and saying that I held them back for 4 hours and not giving anybody else any bad report or anything. And then not being able to say that, oh, she actually, has been going really fast once I actually got the times. And then I actually got fired from that job. And the reason why I got fired from that job was because they would call me in every, I would like be scheduled to work in the morning times, and then they would call me in like after the morning times, and they would try to get me to work like later. Like, oh, can you come in now from 8 to close? Like, I'd wake up from 4. Oh yeah, this is I'll talk about that later. But you know what? I'm gonna just talk about that, and I'll make the other videos. The next video is gonna be about the time frame that they had me working on top of that, if I haven't already done a video about that. And then the next one's going to be why I got fired from that job. So yeah, the next one's going to be the time frame that they had me working that was completely unacceptable, and especially with them making the write up that they made, and then they made another write up. It was completely inappropriate and completely unacceptable. That was what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a video on that next, and then I'm gonna do a video on why I actually got fired from that job, which was completely unacceptable and also completely inappropriate. So I will see you guys later. I might just do that video now because I just did my hair, and as you can see, so I'm kind of tired, but I just want to break it down for people who don't like to stay and listen very long, so that, the message that I'm actually trying to get out actually gets out. So I will see you guys later. Bye. Oh, yeah, and happy Thanksgiving.